MegaHistory presents.
Paris, November 1799. The French Revolution, once a beacon of liberty, has devoured its children. The streets that echoed with cries of liberté, eagle-eye, fraternité now tremble under the weight of corruption, inflation, and despair. The Directory, France's ruling government, clings to power through bribery and intimidation, while royalists and radicals plot its demise. By 1799, France is a nation on the brink. The Directory, established in 1795 to stabilize the post-revolutionary government, has become a byword for incompetence and graft. Hyperinflation renders the currency worthless. Bread riots erupt in cities, while royalist guerrillas terrorize the countryside. Abroad, France's enemies circle. Austria retakes Italy, Britain blockades ports, and Russia mobilizes for war. The Directory's 5 corrupt directors, more concerned with lining their pockets than governing, cling to power by purging opponents and rigging elections. Amid this decay, a cabal of disillusioned politicians, led by the cunning Abbé Sieyès, conspires to overthrow the regime. Sieyès, an architect of the revolution, who once declared the Third Estate is everything, now believes only a strong man can save France. "We need a sword," he confides to allies, but whose? General Joubert, their first choice, dies in battle. Moreau, a rival general, lacks the nerve. Then, like a thunderclap, news arrives. Napoleon has abandoned his army in Egypt and landed in Phrygia. Napoleon's return is a gamble. Deserting his troops in Egypt is a crime punishable by death, but he knows the Directory is too weak to prosecute him. As he journeys to Paris, crowds flock to his route, shouting "Vive le General!" a stark contrast to the silence that greets Directory officials. In Paris, he cultivates an image of Republican modesty, dressing in simple civilian clothes and shunning public appearances. Privately, he meets with Sieyès, who tests his loyalty. "Do you believe in the Republic?" Sieyès asks. Napoleon's reply is calculated. "I believe in saving France. The Republic is a means, not an end." The alliance is sealed. Sieyès provides political cover. Napoleon brings his brother Lucien, president of the Council of 500, and Talleyrand, a Machiavellian diplomat who masterminds the plot. The plan: dissolve the Directory, replace it with a 3-man consulate, and draft a new constitution. But to succeed, they must manipulate the legislature into voting for its own demise, a dance of deception requiring military force, stage theatrics, and cold-blooded timing. The coup is scheduled for 18 Brumaire, November 9, 1799. Napoleon's role is to intimidate the legislature, while Sieyès and Ducos, a pliable director, resign to trigger the Directory's collapse. But nothing goes to plan. At dawn, Napoleon's loyal grenadiers occupy key points in Paris. He addresses the Council of Ancients, the upper house, claiming a Jacobin plot threatens the Republic. "I am no Caesar," he insists, "but a soldier of liberty." The Ancients, browbeaten, vote to move the legislature to the Château de Saint-Cloud, safely outside Paris. But the Council of 500, the lower house, is less compliant. When Napoleon enters their chamber, deputies erupt in fury. "Down with the dictator!" they shout. "Outlaw him!" Jacobin radicals rush at him, tearing his coat. Panicking, Napoleon is escorted out, pale and disheveled. Outside, he mutters, "They tried to kill me. The ingrates." As the crisis deepens, Napoleon Bonaparte, presiding over the 500, seizes the moment. Racing to the courtyard, he addresses the troops. "My brother is no traitor. Those deputies are Jacobin with daggers." Drawing his sword, he points it at Napoleon's chest. "Swear to strike down my brother if he ever betrays liberty." The soldiers, stirred by Lucien's theatrics, cheer. Drums roll. General Murat bellows, "Throw the brigands out!" Grenadiers storm the chamber, bayonets fixed. Deputies flee through windows into the night. By dawn, the legislature is purged. The remnants of the council, shell-shocked and outnumbered, Vote to abolish the Directory and appoint a provisional consulate. Size, Ducos, and Napoleon. Size expects to rule as chief ideologue, but Napoleon outmaneuvers him. A constitution must be short and obscure, he quips, sidelining Size with a bureaucratic labyrinth. By December, the consulate is ratified with Napoleon as first consul, wielding near absolute power. Napoleon's genius lies not just in seizing power, but legitimizing it. He understands that France craves order, not ideology. The French are tired of revolutions, he declares. They want glory and stability. To heal the nation, he blends revolutionary ideals with authoritarian control. First, he crushes dissent. Royalist rebels in the Vendée are pacified with a mix of amnesty and artillery. Jacobin plotters are exiled or shot. The press is muzzled. Newspapers become mouthpieces of the state. Yet he also extends olive branches. Emigrants are invited back, provided they swear loyalty. The Catholic Church, persecuted during the Revolution, is reconciled through the Concordat of 1801. Religion, Napoleon muses, is what keeps the poor from murdering the rich. Economically, he stabilizes the franc by creating the Bank of France and taxing the wealthy. Roads, canals, and schools are built. The Legion of Honor rewards merit, not birth. Careers open to talent, he promises, echoing the revolution's ideals even as he subverts them. Amid the political upheaval, Napoleon's marriage to Josephine remains a source of turmoil. During the coup, she hosted salons, charming politicians and generals on his behalf. Yet her infidelities continue. Hippolyte Charles, her lover, is exiled, but rumors persist. Napoleon oscillates between rage and devotion. "You are my destiny," he writes, even as he takes mistresses. Their relationship, fraught with betrayal and mutual dependency, mirrors his rule, a blend of passion, calculation, and unyielding control. By 1802, Napoleon's reforms coalesce into a new France. The Napoleonic Code, though years from completion, begins to take shape a legal system enshrining equality, secularism, and property rights. Education is centralized under the Université de France. Prefects enforce order in the provinces. A plebiscite confirms him as first consul for life, with 99.7% approval, a figure as dubious as it is symbolic. Yet shadows loom. The peace treaty with Britain, Amiens, 1802, is fragile. Royalists and Jacobin plot revenge. Napoleon's brothers, installed in key posts, jockey for influence. His health falters, seizures and stomach pains hint at the toll of power. "I am the slave of my own glory," he confides to Talleyrand. The Coup of Brumaire marks a turning point in history. It ends a decade of revolution, replacing chaos with order, idealism with pragmatism. For Napoleon, it is the culmination of a journey from Corsican outsider to master of France. Yet it also sows the seeds of his eventual downfall. The man who vowed to be a Washington of France increasingly resembles a Caesar, his republic morphing into an empire. In the public eye, he is a savior. Farmers till fields without fear of conscription. Merchants prosper under stable currency. Artists and intellectuals, from David to Goethe, hail him as a patron of progress. But beneath the veneer of unity, dissent simmers. Former revolutionaries mourn the death of their dream. Royalists wait for a misstep. For now, Napoleon stands triumphant. The boy who once wrote, "I am destined for greatness," has proven himself right. But greatness, as he will learn, is a precarious throne. Next episode preview: the architect of modernity, Napoleon's reforms, and the Napoleonic Code.